Welcome
to
Shadeinthecity. I'm your girl Treese.
It's now.
And today, y'all, we are here to do our recap of the 90 Day That Happens the Other Way. This is season 6, episode, I think it was 15. And it has something to do with
Fools Rush In.
Fools Rush In, yes, because I knew it was after a movie that I liked. So yeah, y'all, if you haven't already, please go ahead and make sure you hit that like button for us.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all, let's jump right into it. Won't much to get into, but you know, they've been giving us, like I said, these filler episodes. But yeah, I can't complain. It was only 42 minutes of my time. So all right. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's get shady. So first up is Sarper and Shekinah. Now, like I said, it wasn't much. We see her getting ready to go. She visits her surgeon for, I guess, would be, I can't even say it's a consultation because it sounds like she done already booked the damn appointment. But they discuss her getting her nose done for the third time. And you know, she said she had 2 previous surgeries.
Huh? You saw that picture of her?
Yeah.
That's a different person.
Yeah, the nose does a lot to your face, man. The nose.
No, it ain't just the nose. It ain't just the nose. She's unrecognizable.
Oh yeah, she's definitely had more work done than that. So we know that she wasn't happy with her 2 previous surgeries that she had. Sarper is just feeling very anxious about her going into surgery and says that he's tried to convince her that she didn't need it, but you know, she wasn't trying to hear it. So as you know, the doctor is going over everything that she has to go through. Sarper steps in to show him how he wants it done. And the doctor was like, I ain't never seen this before. This is a little awkward, but I must say the man was on point. And I said, okay.
You don't even want it. You for damn sure taking the reins, ain't you?
Right, but that's just him being a control freak. So yeah, and what's so crazy, because if y'all break up, are you going to turn around and now want to change your nose again because you didn't like what he did, and that you walk around with the nose that he did for you? Because she gives me that vibe. But anyway, so yeah, basically we see that she shows up for her appointment, and you know, Sarper is still, you know, like trying to convince her not to go. The lady basically explains to them that they can't have sex for a month because she can't overexert herself or it may cause bleeding. And so, you know, they're tripping off the
face or brush her teeth for a week.
Is that what they said?
That's why she was like,
I didn't catch that part.
She was like, oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. But I don't get me wrong, I'm not crazy about my nose, but that's one thing I'm really scared to mess with. Like, I will mess with think about messing with a lot of other things before I mess with my nose. Like, I just feel like, your face and then your sinuses, like it's just attached to so much that I'm good.
Have you ever seen like on TV where they do the surgery, like with the bone and like not?
I can't watch stuff like that. I've seen it and I can't watch stuff like that. I can't watch stuff like that. So basically, yeah, and you know, Sarper is hopeful that she'll cancel the surgery, but the girl is there. She at the hospital and she gonna do it. And next time we see her, she gonna have a new nose. But she does think that this is a great time for her to test Sarper. Because you know, she knows she's not going to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed when she comes out of the surgery, and she's not going to be able to do much, and you know, she's not going to be able to cater to him and entertain him as you know she's used to doing. And so she wants to see how he handles it, and I don't think he'll handle it well because we all know Sarper is a big baby and needs all the attention. So that's what I got from them. Anything to add?
I think it's so dope how he can like just add up the numbers, like the time in his head. He was like 7,200 hours. You want me to go 7,200 hours without sex? Remember before he was doing all the seconds like that? Like, what?
I mean, I think it would be cuter if he was making some money using that talent. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. Never.
If he was a banker or something and he was using that talent, then different.
He'd rather use a totally different talent. Yeah.
Right.
Next up is Joanne and Sean.
This heifer.
So Joey is clearly ready to go. He's already packing. And she took them around, give them treat them like a tourist, and told Joey, listen, we can do whatever it is you want to do. He said, go home. Like yesterday. I was like, oh. And she's like, that's my kid. I know he's passive aggressive, just like me. So she decides to have a conversation with him, and he wants to know if she has a date. She says she doesn't have a date just yet because, she wants to see how everything goes, and she's not just going to up and leave them. He said, well, if you're here, my dad lives 45 minutes away.
Right.
And with Jesse at school, ain't it all on me? She lets him know that, it's not his job to, look after Jesse. Basically, her parents are going to help. And he's like, okay, so basically everybody is moving around your plans.
When I tell you that really, I felt like the one thing, I mean, I didn't like this scene because of the situation, but one thing that I really liked, hold on, I feel like I got to sneeze. Give me a second.
Yeah, he's like, everybody can work around your decision. And that was valid.
It was valid. And I was like, you better, Joey. And not to mention, I just felt like she was trying to sun him a little bit.
What you mean?
Like, oh, well, I'm the mother. I would never do that. And like, to your point, he's valid in his concerns and his feelings because you clearly out here making decisions, not considering your kids. So yes, I have to ask you these things.
What bothered me though, so yes, he was valid with that, but what bothered me was when she was like, I'm not just gonna up and leave you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like she was trying to son, like of course I wouldn't, and of course you don't have to take care of your brother. Well, no, but that's kind of what you're doing.
No, not that. And then he's like, okay, but I would prefer my mom not be in another country. And she's like, oh, we'll figure it out or whatever. We'll figure it out together. Well, you said there was numero uno.
Right.
What is there to figure out? Getting Sean over there? What's the little girl named Bella?
Yeah.
Getting Bella over there? What is there to figure out? He just said he don't want his mom in another country. And you said whatever they say goes.
Right. But she don't want to hear what he got to say for real because she ain't trying. And yes. I just have to get my calendar together. And I mean, granted, I'm sure, and y'all can drop in the comments for our viewers who have our Shade Squad viewers who have kids, older kids at that had gone off and done their thing. I'm sure a lot of people may feel like, well, they're getting. If she didn't have the little boy, I could understand people feeling like, well, they're getting older, and why should she have to change her? You know what I mean?
It's not even about her. The problem is, it's not even about her trying to move to another country. The problem is you doing this and making these decisions without
including your kids, the people that it affects.
Exactly. That's the problem. And now it's kind of like, deal with it.
Agreed. I agree.
So no, it's not her moving or wanting to be happy or whatever she said. It's how you went about it. So it's time for Noelle and the kids to go back home. Apparently, Noelle let her know exactly how she felt when it wasn't on camera. She had a private conversation and, let her know that she was hurt. And she says she completely understands, but, her focus right now is her kids. So right now she feels like she just needs Noelle's support. In the car, Noelle says that she thinks Sean is a cool guy. And Sean asked Joey what he thinks. He said, well, I wasn't expecting y'all to be married for 2 years. So, I only had like a week to digest like 2 weeks, 2 years.
Right.
So, Sean apologized and says, they definitely didn't go about it, didn't think it through. And he was like, yeah, well, that's quite obvious. And Joanne told him that there's so many more pieces that have to be put together, and she'll be sure to plan better and include them. I mean, it's kind of late now, so she drops them off at the airport, and Joey, um, no, I'm sorry, not Joey. Is it no? What's his name? Sean, um, said, the reality is starting to set in that this just may not happen for them. I mean, it probably could have had you guys communicated and you know
Right.
about things the right way, but what else?
And then that puts a lot of pressure on her kids too, because I'm sure her son doesn't want her to be unhappy, but even if he isn't comfortable with her going, he's probably not going to say that to his mother.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I told y'all I don't really see it for Sean and Joanne's crazy storyline. Now let's get into Josh and Lily real quick. Josh and Lily, and the brother Jared, they finally make it to the market. Okay. Josh says that it's awkward after they had this argument. And, he's thankful that Jared is there, though, to relieve some of the tension. And I was thinking, like, yeah, it's good that your brother's there. However, I felt like the same situation that they had with the brother where she typed into the translator, he could have took that time and they could have figured out what the other was trying to say. Or maybe Jared had to break it down and be the mediator so they could understand each other. But I was just like, that's not a good look if you always need somebody to come in.
I feel like the thing is, and let's not get like I said before, I'm not excusing the fact that she's bringing up this money, but I also get what she's saying. She's not throwing it in his face, but it's like, damn, I'm doing all of this to show you that I love you. I'm doing all of this to show you that I care. Even with the whole damn situation with the freaking text message, I'm doing all of this because of you. You can't even put your damn phone down. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's
shout out to Sentley. She commented on that. She said she agreed with you on that point last recap.
With the cell phone thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I feel like she's been saying the same thing. It's not about the money. It's I'm doing this to show you. And yeah, I just want appreciation. I just want gratitude. And
well, what it is for me, y'all, maybe this is just me, maybe I'm reaching. Lily keeps talking about how she just wants to feel love. Have they done the do yet?
I was hoping that would come up, but I was like, you know what? She probably would feel like it's disrespectful to bring that up to the brother.
Right.
But when she was like, that I don't feel loved or I want to feel loved or whatever, I was like, damn, it would have put it in perspective for him if she was like, we haven't even had sex since he's been here.
Right.
Like, I don't even, let alone.
Now, granted, I shouldn't have to pay for it, but all these things that I do for you, can I just get,
I already don't feel loved. Now I don't feel wanted either.
Right. So basically, Jared admits he thinks it's a little concerning that, Josh and Lily are arguing like this and this is supposed to be a happy time for them. So he tells Lily that he wants to give her some closure on the conversation that they had in the car. And he brings up how Josh mentioned, how she brings up finances, knowing that he can't work. And he asks if this is going to be something that she's going to continue, to do because if it's going to continue to bother her. Right. And so Lily whips out her translator and tells Jared that, she doesn't care if Josh is rich or poor. It's about the love for her. And then she brings up how she spent, again, I did put that in my notes because I was like, that's the first thing she said. She spent, and how she still, thinks that he still, doesn't love her, or what I'm saying, she don't love him or whatever. So Jared reiterates that, what the problem is he doesn't really care about how much you spend because he can't contribute. Mm-hmm. So there's no point in you explaining to him how much money you spent because there's nothing he can do because he can't work. Mm-hmm. Is what I got. That's basically what he was saying. Mm-hmm. So stop bringing it up to him because he can't help. And so Lily grabs the translator again, and basically I thought she was going to cuss him out at this point, but no, she explains that, she basically wants to feel gratitude, and probably get some, she's probably sexually frustrated too. And so Jared says that their love languages are just switched. And, whereas a man might feel a woman is ungrateful if he buys her something and she's appreciative, that's how Lily feels. And whereas Josh is looking for more emotional stability. And he tells them that basically their gender roles are switched. And I could understand where he was going and what he was trying to say, and I get it. However, again, I think it has a lot to go back to what's not going on in the bedroom, and you wanted to be emotionally stable, not when you can't even off. I feel like, at least for me, sex is definitely emotional. So not only physical but emotional. So if you're supposed to love me like that, and we supposed to be, I can't wrap my mind around not doing it, especially after I done came to you and asked you for it.
And you asked me for more time.
Right. Okay. So but basically, I guess they feel like, Josh is like, as long as we talk it out and focus on each other, things will get better. And I was like, no, that's not gonna be it. Because she didn't already talk to you and told you what the problem is.
Mm-hmm.
And you told her give you more time.
He does. I don't know if it's the language barrier or what, but I feel like
I think she was clear.
I think she's always been clear. I just think that I don't know if he's like undermining what she's saying. I don't know. But I feel like what she said and Jared got is what she's always been saying.
Man. Mm-hmm.
All he sees is she's throwing the money in my face. I think that's his insecurities.
Right.
You can't.
I absolutely think so. I absolutely think so.
That's that in what she's saying because you're insecure because you can't provide. But that's
Right.
not what he's telling you, sir.
Right. Because at the end of the day,
Telling you,
if you tell me you're taking me out to dinner and I tell you I ain't got it, you can tell me I dropped $500 and I'm gonna look at you and say thank you. I don't care because I told you I ain't have it and I'm not insecure about it. Like,
thing is, she's telling you, I accepted your broke ass.
right.
Like she said, so you were poor. Okay. You came over here with nothing. I met you poor and I still wanted you. I still loved you. I do all of these things because I love you.
Right.
So if I'm telling you that if I'm bringing up the fact that I've done this, I'm telling you I did it to remind you I'm doing it, that I love you. Because I don't have to accept this. I don't have to be with a brokey. Well, but I'm doing it because I love you. And I think he can't see past his own insecurities to understand that.
Nails hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what it is. So basically they seem like they're in better spirits when they as they're leaving, they kiss and make up. And Lily's hopeful that they can move past this because her daughter is set to arrive for their upcoming wedding. And she don't really care for Josh based off something that happened in the past. But she thinks that if the daughter can see how much Josh really loves her, it will make everything better. And that's another thing. Okay, let's just talk about, even if it's not sex, he doesn't even seem very intimate with her. Like holding hands, like, you understand what I'm saying? Like hug. I don't know. It's just, that's what I'm saying. He's so dry for me that if you ain't gonna knock it down, at least give me some type of affection. Like, I can understand why she feels unloved.
I would feel unloved, like you weren't attracted to me,
right?
Wanted, just all of the things, because you ain't even pop me on my ass or nothing. No,
right?
Hell, the
turning on a tootie, hey, come and slap me on the booty.
Something. You ain't doing none of that. Mm-mm.
Yeah, nah, it's not giving. But
dry bologna sandwich.
Yeah, and then on to another brokey, Nels' favorite brokey of them all. Oh, darn it, I gotta add them. I took them out by accident. I forgot I deleted them by accident the other day.
Well, she's talking about Tatha and James.
Yeah.
So it's been about 6 weeks. James don't know if it's gonna work. Okay, he said the parents is too intrusive and too controlling. Well, I mean, he said the parents, but I think
I can't wait to get your opinion on this one. Go ahead.
So talking about the daddy, okay, and it don't help their love life, okay. But and also, the problem is they ain't got no money to leave for real, okay. But apparently, they got money to spend on this second damn wedding, okay. So they went for.
I I said, are all these shows just getting cues from each other? Because we just came off another recap where somebody was planning a wedding with no money. And here
It's,
we go, got
it's about the show.
Brokey and Tatha. Well, they both brokies. And we'll get into her emotional manipulation.
It's about the show, girl. It's about the show. So they went for a fitting. He's really not feeling the traditional clothes. But he does like the fact that he gets the free ball. She said their first wedding was during the vid, and they promised that when they went back to Indonesia, they would have another ceremony that included her family. But James is not feeling the fact that her dad is taking control, and clearly, Daddy don't care nothing about the budget, while James is trying to keep it in between $1,000 and $1,500. Apparently, that's a lot over there. You can get a lot done, okay? But clearly not enough for the daddy. So he said it's been causing a little bit of friction, and he feels like he's been walking on eggshells living there. And she said that she understands, but they ain't making no money, and they not helping out with the banana chips. So she know her daddy is disappointed. Okay,
What did you think about that?
what? I mean,
Oh no, I'll let you. She was like, I don't think you're trying hard enough, or something like that. She said, and I
so
said,
so
well,
he said the banana chips ain't gonna make them no money, and she feels like it's an excuse. She feels like they should help make the banana chips since they're staying in the house for free. And he starts talking about how he doesn't speak the language. And she said that basically you need to try harder, because when I went to the States, I learned it, and you need to try doing it without me. And he feels like I ain't throw you just to the wolves like that. I ain't, just throw you in there. And feels like, that's really not fair. And he said that he can help the daddy with the banana chips, but it ain't going to help his family. It ain't going to help take care of them. And at the end of the day, he's the man. And basically, everybody's going to look at him like he's the failure. You wanted to ask me what? Something to do with this?
yeah. So
What?
what are you? Because I felt like first off, I felt like she used a lot of emotional manipulation.
He always does.
Yes, and then she irritated me. I was there, and the doctors didn't even know what was wrong with me.
Oh my! I didn't put that in my notes, or is that later on?
It might have been.
That's late. That might be later on, because I was like, I said, I know, Treese. I said, I know,
Oh
damn.
yeah, but no, I just I was
Oh,
I was
yeah,
little,
no, it was later on. It's later on.
so I was twerking on the fence, right? Shout out to Kempire. I was twerking on the fence because I understood where she was coming from. We're living with my dad rent free.
Mm-hmm.
So the least you could do is try to help sell these banana chips. We just sitting there not doing nothing.
Yeah, even if it's for like just a few hours, it ain't gotta be like a whole
right. And I could understand if he was going out looking for work or doing something else, like and be like, well, that's making me money, or I'm trying to find another job that's going to make me some money. So that's why I can't do it. But when you just sitting around laid up all day planning weddings you can't afford, I'm sorry. I gotta give my good girl Tatha her things. She had a point.
I think in this episode they both had valid points.
Mm-hmm.
She had points when it came to that, and he had points when it came to making money and how
Oh,
there's
absolutely.
So Tatha, she's back making her jewelry. He tried to joke around about it. She dusted her shoulders off. Okay, she ain't want to hear none of that. All right. He said she's been pretty cold since the argument the day before, and he doesn't feel like it's fair. He feels like she thinks things are magically going to happen, and life just don't work that way. Okay, and says they've been trying to get this jewelry business back up and running, but they haven't sold anything. So she suggests selling it online, and he said the only people that want to buy it are living in the U.S. And she was like, okay, can we just ship it? And he feels like that's expensive. So she's kind of like, you got any suggestions? Don't you make the customer pay for the shipping?
That's what I thought too. But I mean, I guess for what it probably cost them to make it, it probably doesn't make sense for them to ship it, even if the customer pays for shipping. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
No, okay. She said that she's been applying for jobs, but most of them are in the city. Apparently, she used to be a data scientist when she was there before. He told her that basically they're running out of options, and looking at his account, they need to be considering going back. She said she don't want to go back. Okay. She said she don't want to leave her family again. The doctors in the US ain't know what the hell was wrong with her. Her thyroid issue.
That's
And
when she really got emotional because this is my thing. I'm sorry, I was so waiting for him to call her on it. I was so waiting. I wish in that moment he would be like, so you
he said
what treatment is she doing while she's there?
some drink. But he went to the doctors with her and he said that they didn't know what was wrong with her. He vouched for her. Then she said basically he was at work all day while she was at home. And then she suggested, why don't you take your ass back home and I'll stay here? So he's like, I thought we supposed to be in this together. We're not supposed to abandon each other. And she said, I stuck it out for 2 years in the US. It's only been 6 weeks. Basically, he ain't try hard enough. She don't think it's fair. And she said she ain't going back. You can't hold me back.
I don't know if they're gonna work because at the end of the day, they can't make no money. And I don't see any point in them staying there. And that's what I'm saying. She's set. Now
he don't want no kids. Okay.
I think she planned this though. I think she planned it. I think she convinced him, hey, let's go back. She knew that there was no real opportunity. I think she did that to get back home. And then once she got back home, if you want to leave, well, you can go.
Well, I think that she also thought that he was going to try a little bit harder.
Want to sell banana chips?
She did. I think she knew it wasn't going to make no money, but she thought he was going to do it. Just, wasting his days away instead of applying for jobs or something.
Now, I will say he can make a little bit more effort, especially if you ain't doing nothing all day. Then you definitely should be learning the language.
My thing is, so I know, what was it, Jakarta?
Yeah, Jakarta was said 9 hours away because she said she was a scientist, right?
Data scientist, but she said her salary wouldn't be able to pay for that. But then she said he wouldn't be able to work. So I guess she'd be the only one working. I'm wondering why. I mean, if it's a city, do they not speak English in the city either? Where he could maybe find a job there and they could both, afford to live in Jakarta. I don't know. But I mean, I just feel like, why are you going somewhere and you ain't got no job, man?
Well,
like let's not get twisted. I always thought what Brandon did was stupid, right? But at least he bought his house before going. He worked his ass off.
When I tell you, I felt like this was literally a replica of Brandon and Mary. I said, why are we getting married and we have no money? It makes no sense to me.
I gotta say,
the one thing I can give this fool, at least he is adamant about not getting her pregnant because he can't take care of his damn self. At least I give him that much.
Well, and plus he's living in her parents' home. Brandon,
that was Brandon's house. You're right.
Yeah, Brandon. That's the one thing I got to give Brandon. Brandon, at least, I mean, he knew he wasn't going to be able to work when he got over there, so he worked his ass off while he was in the U.S. Bought his wife a house for them to live in, so that they could be, somewhat set up. At least have a roof over their head, knowing that they may not be able to eat.
Right.
They at least got a roof over their head. This man is complaining about the fact that, the mama and the daddy too intrusive because you got to live in the house because you came over there broke. You didn't work your ass off before you got there. Now you can't work while you're there.
And then you still playing on a car. You can't even drive.
Let me tell you something. The people would have had to come get that mother.
And see, that in my eyes, that lets me know that he had
every intention to go back.
Mm-hmm. Because do you think I would give a damn about my credit over in the U.S. and I'm in a different country?
That's what Statler did, remember? Just in case. I ain't selling my just in case.
Right. But yeah, y'all drop down in the comments. Let us know what you think about this episode of 90 Day Fiancé the other way. If you haven't already, please make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like button for us.
Make sure you comment.
Make sure that you subscribe.
And hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the IG. And yeah, y'all, we will catch you next week for another recap. Again, please excuse our tardiness. The girl has been backed up. I'm about to get into it tonight and probably drop a whole bunch of recaps on y'all at the same time because we behind. But we appreciate you being here for us. Thank you for your love and support. And we'll catch you next week. Bye-bye.
Good night.